Welcome back to Wurth Live. If this is your first time joining us, what we do is we bring manufacturers directly to you, the customer, to answer all the questions that you may have. Today is a special episode. We're on the road with Grass, live in an actual workshop, as you can see, with a ton of people. So if you have any comments during this broadcast, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Everyone here with the knowledge here, I'm sure they can find an answer. Without further ado, I will introduce Mr. Mike Raysakis from Grass.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here on Wurth Live at Central Wisconsin, up in Wausau, Wisconsin, and to demonstrate the Grass ZBox production drawer box system.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Wurth Live via YouTube and Facebook. I am Jose Salinas, the Regional Sales Manager for Wurth.
I'm Andre Scalpucci, the Operations Manager at Central Wisconsin Woodworking Corporation.
Hi, I'm Todd Pabanka, Wisconsin Territory Manager for Wurth.
I'm Rich Threlkeld, Sales Director for Wurth, here with our long-term partner, Scott Fletcher, who's been using Grass and purchasing Grass through Wurth for many years.
Scott Fletcher, President, Central Wisconsin Woodworking, President AWI Wisconsin. Thrilled to have Wurth Supply and Grass here today to show you all more about the ZBox.
Awesome. So we're going to have actually multiple demonstrations here. We're going to be doing all by Mike. He is going to be putting together a manual. I guess that's what we're going to call it, a manual.
Jason, we're going to show you two ways to assemble the ZBox system.
Right.
A smaller shop may start out with using a hinge machine and manual equipment, and then a more sophisticated shop, a higher production shop, will utilize a CNC router to process the parts.
And we're going to be doing both today,
we're
right?
going to show you both today.
Very nice. All right, well, you just show us a little bit about what a ZBox is.
The Grass ZBox system is the only production drawer box system that's a 100-pound full extension specs. So if you're building melamine drawers today and you're using a ball bearing slide, you really need to take a look at this system. I mean, with what's going on in our industry today, we're all facing increased material costs, material shortages, increased labor costs, and even difficulty finding skilled labor. With our system, your piece count per drawer goes from 6 pieces down to 3. So that's half the material that you're using. And with a little bit of training, the Baer guys or myself can show anybody in your shop, even the least skilled person, how to assemble these drawer boxes. Since it is a true production system, there's no secondary operations or a lot of handwork. The parts will either come off the hinge machine, like we'll show you, or off the router, go right into the assembly tool and right in the cabinet. As you can see, it's a ball bearing slide. Everyone's used to that, full extension. Take the drawer out here. There's some adjustments that we'll show you for the installer. So once the product leaves the shop, if the floor is not perfectly level or you got to fine tune your gaps and reveals, the installer does have adjustment here. Not unlike a hinge with a cam, so you can move the drawer front up and down or left to right. So that being said, what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to go through the process of using the manual machines to make a ZBox drawer and install it in the cabinet. First up is we put a groove in the bottom. Set it aside in our assembly area.
So Scott, how many years have you been using ZBox?
That's a good question. Quite a while. We like it. It's hard sometimes to get it into the specs, but when we can, we've been trying to push the architects into using it because it does save us time and money, and it does give us good adjustment. But doing it on the CNC, usually when we install it in assembly, we got good reveals and really don't have to do any more adjustment here. Out in the field, if they're installed, a little unplumbed, it's easy to adjust and make the installer's life easy.
So basically, compared to a melamine drawer box, this is pretty plug and play.
Yep.
You just pull your parts right off the CNC, put your drawer together and move on to the next phase.
Yep.
Pretty quick.
Yes.
So Andre had done some preliminary research, and it looks like compared to melamine boxes, you've been able to save about 75%
Correct.
in
labor.
labor from the traditional melamine box to ZBox. That's a pretty big savings. That's substantial.
It's very substantial. And it also just saves, it cuts down time. It gets, it gets our drawers into prep and post prep, what we call basically final prep of our cabinets and out to delivery.
And Andre had mentioned small benefits like freeing up more time in the case plant for other
Other
things
assemblies.
you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty huge. When you mention the specs, sometimes it's a little hard or difficult to change specs.
Yep.
When with the Grass Zargan system, which did not have a fully integrated full extension slide, with the ZBox having that feature, would you say that's helped you?
It's helped tremendously. Yeah, it's a lot easier for us to go into architects and show them that we're using it. It's the same slide system, just a different drawer assembly.
All right, guys, we have the finished product over here.
Cool.
If you guys want to check it out, and tell them a little bit what's going on there, Mike.
As Andre's inserting the slide into the cabinet, you can see it's a nice, tight, white interior. There's no gaps. There's no spaces. The reveals are perfect. When he closes the drawer, there's a preset stop that will give you the right spacing between the drawer front and the cabinet, so it lines up with your doors and drawers and the rest of the job. We've done time studies with shops, and you can see, I produced this drawer in probably less than 2 minutes. And when you go into a shop that's building drawers in the traditional method, a good guy with, by the time he cuts the parts and edge bands them, mounts the slides, mounts the drawer front with the drawer front adjuster, a good guy can do 4 or 5 an hour.
Very nice.
And with our system, Jason, we just showed you how you can produce 30 drawers an hour manually. So your productivity goes way up. And as I mentioned earlier, your piece count goes down. Another nice thing about our product is it is USA made, so you don't have supply chain issues, and there's not long overseas transit times. We make everything per order down in Kernersville, North Carolina.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well, I guess next on the agenda is going to be Andre. Are we going to do a complete machine CNC? You want to explain what's going to happen next on the list?
Yeah, so what we're going to do for you next is what we've got is 5x8 sheet of 3/4 inch white melamine on our flat table router. We're going to cut a complete assembly for a 3-drawer base cabinet. We'll show you some parts of what we've got coming off the machine, and then we'll assemble them. We'll have 6 finished drawer boxes, 3 assembled with the manual, 3 assembled with the manual method, 3 assembled with the CNC method.
Very nice. So how long is this process going to take, you think, for a
So
complete cabinet with 3 drawers?
Yeah, so we've got, like I said, we've got the 5x8 sheet of melamine on the table. It'll take us probably about 3 minutes for it to cut, machine all of the parts. So like I said, it's a complete unit. So we're getting top, bottom, left, right side, full back, and then the 3 drawer bottoms and the 3 drawer backs. So it's going to come off our machine with the 10 millimeter dowels that's required for the drawer back and the drawer front. It's also going to come off the machine with the 1/8 inch groove on the drawer bottom. So it's a pretty automated process. We send all of the programs out to the machine from the office, pre-programmed. The machine operator brings up the program, loads the material, and we are watching it run behind us.
So Andre, with the CNC, how many times does your machine call in sick? Does it show up on time to work?
Right. Yeah. So we've got a great router operator here, very dependable. But yeah, occasionally, sickness, vacations, we're still dealing. Everybody deals with that. But we're able to, with the programs that we're sending out from the office, we're able to bring up the programs real easily. I could probably jump on this machine right now and be able to run this program with the experience that I have. So, yeah, it turns a a skilled labor process into a more repetitive, repeatable, dependable process.
It sounds like if a shop has a CNC and they're not using the ZBox system, they're only utilizing half of the available productivity savings.
Right.
So ZBox, how did that help you take your production to the next level?
Sure, it's great for us because as you're going to see, the parts are going to come off pre-machined. We're going to label the parts, so every cut part is going to have a sticker to it. So drawer back, drawer bottom, a cabinet number, so that our guys can easily sort these materials. Go to our drawer box assembly station, where we can take maybe a less skilled shop employee, give them a pile of parts, and expect to get quality components that we can just plug right into the cabinets.
Would you say, Scott, does this allow your company to take on larger scope or larger scale projects than it would have prior to utilizing the ZBox?
Yeah, because what the ZBox gives us is it really cuts our labor and our machine time from start to finish. So we're using less material, so less machining on the machines, there's less edge banding, less labor going into processing the parts. And then the end assembly is like Andre was talking about, very simple to assemble, very precise. And the beauty of this too is when we put it into the cabinet, it's our reveals and stuff are almost perfect. So it really saves us time from start to finish, and also on material usage. And as we talked about earlier, we're cutting almost 75% of our labor out of that product.
It's pretty amazing. Many people might overlook the drawer box when you look at the overall productivity or labor savings in the system. It must have a very big impact on your throughput and your process.
It does, and like you said, it's saving us time, which means that we can put more products, through the shop per man hour.
So with the melamine box too, Andre, it's hard. I can't even come up with the number of edges that you have to edge band. With the ZBox, you barely have to run your edge band.
Right. We've got mainly the edge band that we're putting on is the back drawer back. Larger like file drawers, for example, will edge the sides also, because you don't always have to use a full height drawer side. I think in one of our examples we've got that the bottom drawer in here. We can take a look at that later, but like file drawers, we can use the shortest ZBox height, put the file rails in at the top, still put a legal letter file into that drawer box without having to go have a full height drawer.
So I have a question for you guys to interrupt real quick. All right, from Kevin, he's asking, is the RAM required for this drawer box, or is there an expandable valve solution?
So in the first attempt that we made with using the ZBox, we did not have the RAM. So we brought in the components. We wanted to see if it was a viable option for us. The screws that are attached to the metal drawer sides are removable, so you can back those out with a Phillips screwdriver, drive the dowels in with a hammer, put the side back on, and put your wood screw back into the dowel. So that is an option. We ran a couple of jobs like that when we first started. I wanted to get it past our drawer assemblers. We got their approval. I knew we were in good shape. So once we did that, we realized that it was a viable solution for us. We worked with Wurth and with Baer. We brought in a press for it, and it's been great ever since.
So, Andre, you brought up file drawers. So, with the ZBox system coming in 3 different heights, you effectively can have a file drawer, a deep file drawer, using a 3.5-inch high side with a file system on it, rather than spending more for a 9-inch high slide. Is that correct?
Right, that's correct. So there's multiple file slide options. I believe we're showing one option today. So in the demonstration product that we've got, we've sized the cabinet so that when the file goes in, you know, it's a constant file size. So a couple of the other options is obviously not all of your file cabinets are the same width. So you can make the cabinet wider, still put this track system in, and then you can turn the files 90 degrees so that they run perpendicular to how they would traditionally run. So you can have multiple size file drawers, not necessarily stuck with one size based on the drawer size.
And the rail is simply a dowel.
There we go. We got one all
there you go.
here.
Excellent.
Yep.
Just the Raysakis is on the spot.
Yeah, we're actually going to be putting them in all both cabinets are going to have all 3 drawers. So we're making 6 drawers and actually pretty much a cabinet all in the live stream. It's pretty remarkable.
That's correct. So here we've got behind us, and we'll show this in a minute, but we've got all 3 manual assembled Z boxes already in the cabinet. We've got some parts coming off of the router right now that we'll be assembling here shortly. Within a couple of minutes, we'll have another 3 sets of another 3 drawer bank cabinets to show.
Here, we have a really good question here. Did you experience a pretty short learning curve? I guess what was your learning curve?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first thing for us, obviously, you can see we've got the CNC equipment. We wanted to make sure that we had the programs in our software correct. It took a couple of test runs, but even the first drawer bank that we made, we were able to get it in, look at what we needed to adjust, and I would say within 2 or 3 cabinets we were good to produce. So I would say learning curve was real good.
That's a great question.
And not to mention, Mike put together 3 drawers in the amount of time we've been, just started. That's incredible.
It is really a simple production system, and that's just with a little bit of training. The least experienced guys in the shop can produce quality parts.
And Mike put the drawers in, and you'll see in a moment.
Jose back over here.
Everything's in alignment. It goes right in, and then goes right down the line.
Perfect. Yeah, even the gaps and reveals are just perfect.
Looks great. You don't even build cabinets.
No, I'm not a cabinet. I'm a sales guy.
So we're going to bring Jose, our camera guy, over here to come show you if you want to show the finished cabinet here that Mike put together, all nice and set up.
The bottom drawer is a file. We've got
Mike.
Mike, you talk with
A little bit of Mike.
Like Andre said earlier, the drawer box is sized for a Pendaflex file. So on the bottom drawer, we have a hanging file rail, and you'll notice there's holes pre-punched in the side. So if you did want to do lateral file, we have railings that will plug into those holes for either letter or legal size files. But it takes all the measuring and using blocks and fixtures to set up a file drawer. It takes it all out of the equation. And if you're processing the parts on the router, the CNC will even drill the locating points for the file rail.
Very nice. Okay, we have a question here. How do you get past the required specifications on larger jobs? I think you guys were mentioning that yesterday. A little bit of.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how would that, when you see a spec come through for a melamine box and a full extension drawer size, what's that process like to get the specs flipped over to stuff?
Yeah, so for our company, that it's not always possible. So usually what we would do in a situation like that is we would try to recommend a product that we're comfortable with, that we would like to use, try to educate the customers to a certain degree and say, this is why we like to use this one. But at the end of the day, if it's not what they want, so sometimes we face that challenge, but definitely the Z-Box we try to use as often as we can and push it as often as we can.
I would imagine the architects you work with and customers and designers, once you do change the spec, then they see the final product, and then you'll get returned the project specified with Z-Box as a result of the work you did.
Yeah, it's if we can get them to use it once, it's usually they'll start writing it into a spec for us.
Okay.
So, and we're, now that COVID's kind of passing, we will start doing, lunch and learns with architects again, get face to face with them and show them the advantages of projects. And through AWI Wisconsin, we'll do seminars here with AIA and CSI and get architects here at the shop and run them through the process.
Well, Scott, that's great, and know that Wurth and Grass will support you in that effort, and we will be here along with you to host those events to get some specs for you.
Always greatly appreciate it.
So we got Mike over here putting together the pieces that just came fresh off the CNC. Andre, did you want to grab one and kind of just show what the machine does? And I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yes. So what we've got, the three components that we get, drawer bottom. So it's getting an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch deep groove on both sides that accept the drawer side, locks it in. So it's actually going to, when it's finished, the grooves are going to be on the bottom. That's all it is. So 3 sides. I believe you can go down to 1/2 inch thick material.
I believe so.
All the way up to 3/4 thick. We choose to use 3/4 thick. That's what all of our cabinets are constructed with.
It's a pretty beefy box,
right,
Andre.
It's substantial. We've got the drawer back here, so it's getting a 10 millimeter dowel and then just a 3 millimeter pilot hole for the back of the drawer slide. Lastly the drawer front. So 2 10 millimeter dowels. Like I said, CNC located 10 millimeter dowels. So that's what's getting pressed into the slide. So they press the sides into the fronts, attach the back. Last step is attaching or pounding in the bottom into the drill.
So where are all the wood dowels, doweling glue, screws, and all that? Where's the guesswork?
Right, there is none. So yeah, like Rich was saying, no screws, no glue, friction fit dowels, a couple of wood screws for the for attaching the back of the drawer slides to the back, and that's it.
All coming off the router, prelocated. All you do is friction fit the dowels in there, build a box, and send it on down the line.
That's correct.
Do the next one.
Yep.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Very good. So Mike is finishing up those boxes.
Absolutely. Right now is a good time to go with our word from one of our sponsors.
Okay.
Rich, you want to tell them about that?
So here we have Lemon Organics, all organic hand sanitizer. It's great because it's a moisturizing hand sanitizer and 70% alcohol, medical grade. This wonderful product. When you use it, your hands end up feeling like you wash them with soap and water. And I highly suggest this product over any other in the market.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely
Jason, here,
I will take some.
I think you need some.
You never know.
Let's get some together.
It's
It smells
very, very
wonderful.
nice. Usually Jose is in charge of this part.
That's right.
Yeah, it does have a nice smell. All right, so what's next on the
It comes
agenda,
in
guys?
12-ounce hand pump,
Oh yeah, 8 ounce.
8
8 ounce
ounce.
with a hand pump as well.
flip top or hand pump,
Yeah.
and then a little 2-ounce bottle for the ladies to put in their purse or to hand out as samples. Scott needs some.
All right, so while you guys were talking, Mike has put together 3 drawer boxes.
So, Scott, would you like to take a second to talk about AWI and AWI Wisconsin?
Sure.
What is AWI? What does it stand for?
The Architectural Woodwork Institute. So we are a industry group that gets together and try and, we basically share ideas, processes, technology at a peer-to-peer program. So AWI Wisconsin is, as of last year, COVID kind of shut everything down. So right now we're in the process of rebooting. Earlier this year, we had seminars on employees, acquisition, retention, building teams. We also had a finishing seminar for hand spraying, robotic spraying. Had techs come in from multiple companies to share technology and methods. So we're really trying to teach and train our industry to be better, to understand technology and to how to implement it. You know, even from the simple technology of putting things together in a smaller shop, you know, with fewer automated tools. And then also going up to fully automated systems. We'll do plant tours of casework companies that have fully integrated robotics and stuff, so people can see what's possible. So we try and take, you know, the introductory shops from working with more hand tools all the way up to the fully automated shops, so they can see the steps in getting from A to Z.
How would we encourage any woodworking manufacturer to be involved in AWI and vendors as well? How would we go about the process of getting involved with AWI?
You can go to our website. It's awiwi.org. That's for Wisconsin, and awi.org for national. We'd love to have you guys come in. We are also going to be hosting a golf outing on August 12th.
Down Milwaukee.
Yeah, down by Milwaukee. And we also are putting together a technical seminar on engineering software. So we're going to cover engineering, processing, and production tracking on the floor. So basically everything from engineering to shipping will be covered in that seminar.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And knowing you over the years, you've always been an advocate of our industry, inviting people into your production facility to talk about ways that you've learned to improve your business. And you're being the president of AWI in Wisconsin, you're helping out a lot in our industry, teaching people what you've learned over the years.
And that's what we do. We're here to share, you know, share knowledge, you know, whether it's technical knowledge or just, you know, hands-on putting boxes together, engineering, how to manipulate, you know, engineering softwares, you know, parametric programming, just all types of, you know, technology. So we're really here to help our industry become stronger and more competitive, as, you know, nationwide. And, you know, we focus on Wisconsin, but we're also involved on a national level. So we want to, you know, lift up our industry so we can be competitive on a global market.
That's a wonderful thing. And again, AWI Wisconsin, AWI has chapters throughout
all over the country,
all over the country from coast to coast.
Yep.
And we encourage involvement, whether it be through vendor or through fellow manufacturers.
Yes.
Let's take a
And that
second.
bell, just a reminder of, we're going to talk to Mike. He's got a little promo going on.
Nice. We like
That was
promos.
a perfect.
Thank you for the information on AWI. It's a great organization. Grass is proud to be a member. And the ZBox system that we show today is certified as an AWI premium, I believe, drawer box system. So great work. What we did want to just kind of talk about as far as the machinery that we showed you today, to get set up with this equipment, which would be the drilling machine and the ram, as well as the router bit. We do offer a program with Wurth Baer where we split the cost of the machines a third. So the cost of entry is very, you know, it's easy to handle, and there's not a lot of cost involved. If you're a larger shop with a CNC capability, we can help you with the software and everything that you need to utilize that, and then you're only buying the assembly tool.
That's a big thing. So the software, you have the parts loaded in the software.
We do. If you're using Cabinet Vision, all the templates are in there. If you have a CAD type program, we do have the solid files that you need to utilize that.
And Wurth Lewis would also have the same program with Grass.
All the work is here.
That's
Yes,
it. Absolutely.
yeah.
Wonderful. So,
And the last thing I'd want to say is if you're a commercial shop and you're producing these kind of drawer boxes today, melamine drawer boxes, contact your local Grass rep or your local Wurth rep and schedule a demo in your own shop. And that way we can do a time study on what your guys are doing today. And then you can see how our system works, and you can decide for yourself. I mean, if you want to save the material costs and the labor costs, you know, once you see it in your shop, I'm confident you'll move forward with it. So, thanks, Scott. Thanks again for letting us come up here.
Scott, let's take a moment to talk about Central Wisconsin woodworking. So your footprint, where does it cover?
We're nationwide, so we cover the lower 48, have done jobs in Hawaii, currently pursuing a job in Guam. So we're all over the place.
Commercial case goods,
millwork, We're going after commercial build-out space, so high-rise office buildings. We also do healthcare, educational. So we're pretty much in everything.
And you're laying up laminate panels.
Yeah, we lay up laminate panels, veneer, yeah. So we're covering all bases.
Right.
We like keeping things in-house and keeping our fingers on
That's
it.
how you can control everything.
Yes.
And you're based here in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Yes. Yeah. We got guys. We have a guy in Minnesota. We got a guy in Denver, and we work with people all over the country. So we love what we do. Our guys, I think, truly enjoy the products and projects that we get to work on.
You've got a great reputation in the industry. We're very proud to partner with you. We appreciate you opening up your facility to us today to do this, and thank you so much for your business and your partnership. We're grateful of what you and Andre have done for us.
And we're grateful for Wurth and for Grass over the years. It's been just a pleasure to work with you guys and having you guys come in for technical assistance and new products and stuff. It's been awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for everything, for all the knowledge you guys have provided today. And thank you to Mike Raysakis from Grass, actually, for giving us all the tools on how to build a metal drawer box.
And all the technical support
Appreciate
for our
it.
event today.
That's a great program,
great.
and you guys do a fantastic job with it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Andre.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. Join
All
us
right.
next time.
Yeah, next time
Yeah.
we're gonna be some other place, hopefully next month, and then a new, product to talk about.
Sounds great,
A
Jason.
lot of fun. Well, thank you guys very much, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for
today.
watching.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it.